right, going live, going live. Am I live? I think I'm live. I'm living. Dude, you're here. Awesome, man. So far, you're the only one here. So thank you for being here. How's my audio? Is it, I think I need to tweak is that a little bit better? A little bit better? I hope so. So, okay, what are we talking about today? I actually got a lot of stuff. I even made notes this time. So a lot of stuff I want to talk about in today's live stream. But first thing, if you guys are here, sound off. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. That always helps out the video and helps me grow the channel, engagement and all that garbage. So even if you hate it, give it a thumbs up. Don, we got Don here. We got it. Rock and roll, guys. Thanks for being here tonight. So I got a couple of things, but first I want to show you guys. I've got my big old Magic Minute cup of coffee here. This sucker is full, and I'm ready. I put a pot of coffee on because we're going to be having a heck of a live stream today. So what are we talking about? We are talking about my upcoming trip to Austin to shoot some more Scam Nation episodes. I can talk a little bit about that. I want to talk to you guys about my plans for the live stream at the end of the month. And also I got a restaurant gig. I just added another one on. So I want to talk to you guys about that, answer your questions to that. And then also Don is, he emailed me earlier and asked me about something regarding length of programs. And I'm going to respond to that too. Also, I want to be here to answer your questions. So let's, anytime if you've been having a question about anything over the past week, whether it's something I did on this channel or something else that you just like, hey, maybe Alan knows the answer to that. That's where, this is what we do with this live stream for, so I can answer those questions. Guys, thank you for being here. It's so cool to have you all. Of course, I'm always excited to do these. I can't wait to hop on. I kind of just want to do a live stream every day, but I think that would get on everybody's nerves. Not to mention, logistically, it's kind of tough. So we got It's here, Don Magic for Kids is here, and Burn. Hey, Burn, how's it going? Burn, feel the burn. Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the first thing that I have on my agenda, unless you guys have some questions you want to get to, and I'll be happy to answer those. Going to pull up my notes. I actually take notes now. Ooh, Justin 2 Cars, what's up? Woo! All right. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about what I have going on. Kind of my programming schedule or whatever for right now. It's you guys notice probably a pretty big shift as soon as the new year hit. I was doing a lot of tutorials. They're not gone. I'm going to still be doing a lot of those. I think it's important to not only break up the kind of content that I'm doing, so that way you guys are getting fresh stuff and different stuff. Keep you guys coming back every week and give you something new to think about or chew on. But also, if we're being honest, if I'm talking about my strategy here, I love you guys and I'm glad you guys are here every week, but I want to keep growing this channel and add more people to our community. And the only way to do that is kind of dangle a carrot, which happens to be, at least in Magic, it tends to be a lot of tutorials and how-to videos. That tends to bring a lot of new viewers in. Speaking of bringing in new viewers, I am going down to Austin at the end of this month, 30th and 31st. I think it's only going to be those 2 days. It might be one more day, but at least the 30th and then the 31st, where I'm going to be shooting some more Scam Nation episodes. So that's an open invitation. I want to keep you guys abreast of what happens, but usually whenever we go to a shoot somewhere, Brian will put out something on his social media, says, hey, we're about to shoot a Scam Nation episode in Austin. Guys, come out, if you want to be on the show or if you want to see a live taping. So if any of my viewers are going to be in Austin that week, 30th and 31st, 30th probably more specifically, I think we're filming on the 30th. Keep track of what I'm doing. If I'm doing community posts on YouTube, or Brian's Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, because we'll be announcing, hey, guys, come check it out, whatever. So if you're in Austin, come check it out. It'd be a great time to meet you in person and also maybe get you on the show. So We got some comments. Let me go ahead and read these. Burn says, I always miss your live shows because it's around now when I get back home. Well, hey, you're here, so thanks for being here. Ooh. Your cards are a blast. People at school love them. What? Oh, yeah. The you're talking about the foil backs, dude. When are the foil backs? I got some other stuff here because when people say my cards, I've actually put out a deck of cards with my friend Joe, and then I also helped not design, but loosely helped design the White Raider deck through Magic Network. Let's see. Done. Yeah. Okay. So, no, it was not a paid gig. That was for a public access television show, or it was for me to create my own public access television show or special. And the event was at something called Log Cabin Days. This was in Waterford, Michigan. We have quite a history of woodsmanship and kind of that turn of the century kind of mountain man kind of thing, if you want to think about that way. And we celebrate that heritage and would go and do all these fairs or festivals, right? It's just some historical thing. It was the Waterford Historical Society put on this event, and they do that every year. I don't know if they're still doing it. I hope they are. But it's been, 15 years since I've lived in Michigan, 16 years since I lived in Michigan. Yeah, it was not a paid gig. I was not doing paid gigs at that time. I don't think if it would have felt comfortable performing for pay for the level I was at that point. So I hope I'm answering that question correctly. My first paid gig was probably, when I was in like a senior in high school, I did I did a friend's graduation party. I think I did that. I got $25 or something for that. It was just something. I also did something for my neighbors for a barbecue, and they paid me like $10 or $15 or something. Not a huge amount, but if you're asking for my very first paid gig, that was probably it. My first professional paid gig was probably. Oh, I remember it. It was after I was at the restaurant. If you want to count the restaurant as a paid gig, there's that. But like just a show, like somebody decided to hire me and have me go do a show at a venue that's not a restaurant. It was for a birthday party. It was this guy's kid's birthday party. So I hope that answers it. Just felt like a Tazon day. I have to move away from the mic when I breathe in. Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby boy. No, I got to do it anymore. So, yeah, if you guys are going to be in Austin, definitely come to that. That'll be really cool. It's going to be at a bar. You got to be a drinking age, but you should definitely. According to my demographics, you all are. So, if you're there, that would be really, really cool, and you get to see live taping at the very least. Maybe get to help at the very worst. So, what I'm planning to do is I have access to actually really good internet when I'm down in Austin, and I know we usually do these live streams on Friday nights, but I was hoping, if it's cool with you guys, we have a change for that 1 week, and we do a live stream at 10 p.m. on Thursday, which will be the 30th, because it'll be at Modern Rogue headquarters. And you guys will get a chance to see a little bit of the room that I stay in and kind of get a flavor of the place that way. So I thought that would be really fun. And if you guys want to do that, that'd be sweet. But I'll make sure to leave, messages wherever for that, so you guys can people who are either in the live stream and need a reminder, or people who couldn't make it tonight. And we'll make sure that you guys know that that's what I'm planning to do. Yeah, man. Well, Austin's actually got a lot of really cool bars. There's a place called, is it the Handlebar Saloon? I think it's the Handlebar. It's where I filmed my most recent set of videos with Brian. They were, I think it was the Handlebar. But what's cool about that place is they actually have like an adult size seesaw, which is awesome because you can get you drink beer, you sit there with a beer, you get some guy, hey, you want a teeter totter, you want a seesaw, and then you guys just like straight up go at it, man. And you got to like make sure that your weight is similar because you'll fly off. And that was some of the most fun I had there. I mean, of course, the filming was great and getting to interact with the guests and everything, but it's something that really stands out in my mind is that adult-sized teeter-totter. Bunch of stuff. What do you guys think about the format? I wanted to know, the first 20-year series video that I did, part 1, was me just voicing over, just narrating over top. And I realized that, it's pretty tough to hear what's going on or to be able to pay attention to both things at the same time. And apparently I wasn't the only one that thought that. You guys all chimed in and said, hey, I'm not getting it, So the format change with the picture-in-picture, I hope that's helping everybody. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you like that, if there's any way I can improve it further. You realize that it makes the videos quite a bit longer, but it can't be helped. So I hope that it's not been too much of a drain on your guys' attention, and that you got some value out of it. I'd love to hear your feedback. So please sound off for me so I know what kinds of stuff you like, what you want to see improved, and how you think I might be able to improve it. What else do I have here? Oh, yeah. So I got the Diamond Gym interview that I want to talk to you guys about, and also the restaurant that I picked up. So some other stuff I'm pretty excited about and want to share with you, and see if I can answer some questions about that if you guys have any, since I just recently did it. Hello, there's a person behind here. Hello. Let's see I got some comments first. Let me go ahead and take a look at these and see what you guys are saying. Great. I'm glad to hear that, you guys. That was something, honestly, it's actually almost as easy to do it both ways. I learned what a ripple cut was the other day, and that's a very special type of cut that allows you to extend the length of one video while keeping the other video the same length, which is really helpful because it allows me to do that pause, talk, and then stretch out that other video so it matches along with the video of me talking over top of it. So after I learned that, it became very easy to make them that way. And so that's a format I can definitely keep and hope to with future videos. I'm also planning on doing a follow-up to that, which is the whole 20 years later videos, where I'm doing the exact same effects, but I'm doing them now today and showing you just kind of how they're different. I'll still have critiques for myself, though. Don't be surprised if you see me in here still giving myself garbage or whatever, because the thing is you can always get better. You're never perfect, right? Perfection is a goal, not a destination. So you're going to probably, I am thinking about just going over top and going, hey, here's some things I could have done better still. Because it's difficult whenever you're in the moment to kind of know all the things you should be doing, like intellectually you know them, but to actually execute all those things in the moment can be very difficult. They're all sounding off. Oh, look at this. Justin, yes, I use DaVinci Resolve 16, and what's great about it, it's free. It's a fully featured editing suite. It's not only got video editing, but it also has color correction tools in there. Actually, some of the best color correction tools in the industry, as well as audio mixing, and it's entirely free. If you want some like super like tertiary color controls and some other crazy some stuff that I'll never use as a YouTuber. If I was a professional filmmaker, I might pay for the paid version. But there's really hardly any difference at all. There's just like one or two features that it doesn't have. It doesn't allow you to like use two monitor editing, so that can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But I have a big 30-inch or 29 or 30-inch screen that I edit on, so I don't have too much of a problem with that. But it's fantastic. You go download it. It's on Windows and Linux and Mac, and it's fabulous. You should have it if you do any video work. I will never pay for any of the other ones. I don't see any reason to. Don, you had a question too. You wanted to ask me about your the show length, right, with stage and parlor and all of that. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like if you could ask that again in the comments for everybody else's benefit, so I'm responding to it, and because it'll help other people too. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you guys about the Diamond Jim interview. So, Diamond Jim and I have been friends for I want to say maybe 12, 13 years, something like that, quite a while. And him and I met really early on when I moved to Texas. I used to work for a magic shop in McKinney, Texas, in downtown McKinney. It was called Main Street Magic and Fun Company. And that was owned by Chris and Jennifer Gracie. And they bought the shop from Diamond Jim. He used to have a magic shop called Magical Gadgets. Bought all the inventory and all the assets and everything from Diamond Jim, and then took over the store and then built it in McKinney. And so I go to a TAUM, one of my first ones. Of course, Chris and Jennifer are there. They're trying to help get involved in the magic community and let people know about their shop and all those things. And I go, and I'm an employee at that point. I didn't go with them as an employee, but I saw them there. They introduced me to Diamond Jim, and I said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I am aware of Diamond Jim, yes." And him and I started talking, and I remember one of the first interactions we had. He said, "Hey, they're actually starting to guys like Siegfried and Roy are going to have to close down shop. They're not going to let big cat shows happen in Vegas anymore." And I said, "Well, that's a real tragedy." He goes, "Yeah, I guess they don't like cheetahs in Vegas." And, and he had got me. That's him all around all the time. I've got a million and one stories about hanging out with him and the stuff that he does. But anyway, him and I started working together and sharing gigs with each other, calling each other when we were booked for something. In fact, I just picked up a gig for him that I'm doing next month. We've been friends for a long time. I used to help him package his magic supplies or whatever. He'd get all of his stuff in and then have to package it himself. And he would call me over and say, "Hey, man, I'll buy you lunch." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, why not? I got nothing better to do." So we started hanging out a lot then. And he's been on Scam Nation a lot. He's actually the reason I met Brian in the first place. I went down with Jim back in 2016. And he introduced me to Brian. That was the first episode that I did with Brian, which is the one ahead principle. And that was, again, like 4 years ago now, if you can believe it. And yeah, so we've stayed in touch. And he actually lives not too far from me at all, like, almost down the street. So I said, "Hey, Jim, you've been on Scam Nation a lot. You know about my channel, right?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I was like, "Well, you should come on it." I don't do the same format as Brian, but there's a lot of people who know you from Scam Nation who I think might like to know a little bit more about you. And so let's do some kind of introduction thing. Maybe you can share some advice or thoughts on magic for my audience. And he went, "Yeah, all right, let's do it." So sat down, shot that the other day, got it all edited. It is coming out this Thursday. That is going to be Thursday at noon, as my regular schedule permits. And I hope you guys like it. I put a lot of work into it. Yeah, the thing is, I'm going through the comments here, and Justin, yeah, it does motion graphics too. It's got. I don't know why more people don't use it. In fact, if you go look on YouTube and you see people talking about switching to DaVinci Resolve, like everybody is, because it's really good and it's very well supported. And there was a time whenever I updated my Mac here that I'm kind of making all this go through my hub. I updated to Catalina, and when I did that, I had some issues with DaVinci, and I was freaking out. You can actually go back to the community tab in my channel and see where I'm going. Hey guys, there's no video today because I can't get it to work. And then I post like maybe an hour later, and then I was like, oh, never mind. Those guys are so good about like fixing stuff and making sure that there's constant updates and support for DaVinci, and it's just super good. It's super good, and the workflow is really really simple too. It's really nice, very intuitive, and it's not too hard to do anything that you want to. You just kind of and it works. So love that. Okay, Don. So I wanted to answer this question. Don emailed me earlier today, I think it was, or last night, and asked me about this question. And I want to answer it for everybody here on air. He says, how long should a parlor show be compared to a stage show? For parlor show, would it include dinner first, then magic? Would it be possible to do a live question and answer session with Jim in the future? I'll ask him. I don't think he would be opposed to it. I'm planning on trying to get a couple of other magicians here to do a live stream with me. In fact, I'm trying to get Brian to do a live stream with me if he's not got one of his podcasts or something that he's doing. But I know at least I'll be doing a live stream, hopefully from Modern Rogue headquarters. And my goal is to try to get Brian to make an appearance. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to him. He's indisposed at the moment, but when I get back in touch with him, it's something I'm certainly going to ask. Well, let's go ahead and get to Don's question, though. I want to make sure that we do that and I don't get distracted. So, there's no easy answer. It's kind of like saying how long is a piece of string. I can tell you that some standard ones, or at least in my market, it's standard to see like a 30 or 45-minute parlor show, especially whenever I'm working with clients. But that's, again, that it depends a lot. Are you working with other entertainers? Like I'm doing a show at the end of this month at Confetti Eddie's Magic Parlor, and that is like a 2.5 hour show, but it's because I'm doing 1 hour and Eddie is doing the other hour. So we've got, we're each doing about an hour of material. The show's 2 hours long ish, but there's also a intermission. So but it tends to be about 30, 45 minutes is a good time for a parlor show or stage show. Maybe an hour. If you're doing like a traveling magic act and you've got large props and all that kind of stuff, you can go 2 hours, and probably should, because you're going to have to charge a lot in ticket prices to put on that kind of production, and you want to give people their money's worth. About 30, 45 an hour, something like that is pretty common in my market. I hope that answers the question. I got my little baby. He's getting up. So if you see me have to mute this and get up, I've got to put the kiddo back to bed. So bear with me if I have to do that. Okay. Yeah, well, Don, if it's just you, 30, 45 minutes is probably a pretty solid set. That's about what I book myself for. If I'm doing an adult audience, or I'm doing when I used to do like older children's birthday parties, 45 minutes is a solid amount of time to get everybody entertained and kind of just hit the prime amount of time it takes to put on a show like that. I'd say about 45 minutes. 30 minutes is fine if you're doing like a show for younger kids, assuming this is for children or families. Also, something to think about is sometimes you can even do shorter shows, or multiple shows. Like if you guys are doing like a library show and you have multiple that day, it might be something like you're doing, three shows during the day, but they're each 20 minutes apart. You know, they're like just a 20-minute, just your A material, just as quick as you can, and then you reset and then do it again. So it really depends, but those are some kind of rough estimates there. Hey, it's time for bed. You got to go to bed, sweetheart. It's not a bee, it's a fly. I got him. All right, go on, go to bed, sweetheart. Honey, I'm sorry. Okay, so sorry guys. Thank you for being patient. Baby does not want to stay in bed today. He's actually had a pretty hard day, so I'm trying not to be too hard on him. Wanted to talk to you guys also about the restaurant that I got. So the Diamond Jim interview is tied into that because Diamond Jim, a lovely friend of mine, the interview talks about restaurant magic. So I get kind of an inside scoop about him. He shares some stories about when he was younger, his career, his projects he's working on, but then he also shares some really, really solid advice for people looking to get into restaurants. And of course, I have my own opinions. Him and I agree on a lot. And I could just sit here and tell you, hey, this is how you get a restaurant. But I thought, well, heck, you guys know Diamond Jim probably longer than me. And I've seen him performing for a lot longer than me on YouTube. And well, he's been at it longer than I have too. He's been at it longer in magic than I have. I think it's a good, valuable video that you will get a lot from. It's funny. Parts of it are really funny and informative, and it's just it's the largest project I've taken on to date too, as far as video editing goes. It was quite a challenge, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it when it comes out on Thursday. It's okay. Okay, so guys, I want to ask you about. Oh, Lord. I want to ask you about this kind of changing the format. I talked about the tutorials going away for a little bit, kind of breaking things up. Have you noticed the theme with what I'm doing in 2020 is I'm kind of going really hard over the turning tricks into real magic. I really want to make sure I'm owning that moniker or that tag or that title that I've been giving my channel for so long, and give you guys some valuable stuff. I also hope it's stuff that you're not finding anywhere else on YouTube. I don't think it is. I don't see a lot of magicians doing content like this, maybe because they can't. I don't know how many people have video of themselves performing 20 years ago, but that's really a focus for me this year is to be giving you guys content in a different light. Oh, thank you, son. Look, not sponsored. Thank you, kiddo. You're a sweetheart. I love you. Now go to bed. We got to get up early for Grandpa's birthday. Night night. Parenthood. Do we have any parents in on the stream right now? I know we got some viewers or parents, but anybody watching right now, a parent? Man, that is some good coffee. Hey, also, Matthew Ellisor, I don't think he's here today, but Matthew is someone who offered me some coffee, and I haven't got it yet, but hopefully the next time I'm doing this, it will give it enough time for the package to get here, and I'm very excited. I'm going to tell you guys all about it. I'm going to drink it live on air, tell you all about this coffee, this legendary peerless coffee that Matthew has. So. Don, hey man, thank you. I it's my hope that I'm in some way giving back to this great art that's given me so much. And there was a time, man, where and there's still in some places in my own profession, my own career, where I'm totally clueless. I don't even know what questions to ask. And it's so frustrating to be in that situation because I just want to get the thing. If I just knew what to ask, I could probably just ask the person and then just have that answer, and then I can go and run with that. But not even knowing what you don't know what you don't know. And so it was my hope that this channel would help people kind of fill in the gaps, bring new people to the art, but also then kind of uh, get us all in a position where we're doing better and we're all making progress wherever we are in the journey right now. We're all removing roadblocks and all getting there, even if it's at a different time, just kind of all stepping forward. Something I want to ask you guys too is I'm thinking about actually adding a Facebook group just for the Magic Minute where we can just kind of interact during the week, because we're only here Thursdays and then Fridays when I'm doing a live stream. I'd like to have a community on Facebook where we're all interacting all the time, sharing stories and memes and maybe little video clips of us performing or whatever it is. Just kind of make it a real community where we're chatting constantly and maybe even being able to help each other if somebody knows the answer and can get to the person before I can. I thought that'd be really cool, but I don't know if you guys are open to that or whatever. I know sometimes whenever you go from one social media platform to another, you have a hard time getting people to move from one to the other. So if you're interested in that, even a little bit, I'll go ahead and build that out, and then we can have that as a forum or a community on Facebook. But I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about that. I'm reading, guys. You guys wrote a whole lot, so I'm not ignoring you. I didn't disappear. I'm just kind of getting a sense of what's here. We have. Okay, yeah. Well, here's the thing: is I was at this restaurant the other day. It was at a networking. I'll do the whole story. Okay, so I went to a networking meeting for Dallas event professionals. Right, I'm a Dallas event professional. I'm in the vendor side of it, and I'm not a venue or a planner, but it was perfectly good place for me to go to network and meet other people. And I go there, and the guy who's hosting it owns the restaurant, and he says, "Oh, hey, you're a magician. Let's chat." I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, it was his idea. He said, it'd be really cool to have some magic in here. I said, "Oh, yeah, it would be." Uh, so him and I set up a meeting, and then I met with him the other night. Met at the restaurant, talked for a little while, told him about some of the stuff that I can do to help him. What problems he's having in the restaurant right now, what kind of solutions I have for him, and my rate. And he went, "Yeah, right, cool, perfect. Let's go ahead and get that started." Um, it was in stark contrast. The reason I'm telling the story is it was completely different from how it used to be. Whenever I tried to go get a restaurant before, I'd be a bundle full of nerves. I would just be sweating and pacing and giving myself every excuse why not to go. It looks like it might rain. Oh, I'm supposed to go there between 2 and 4 o'clock. It looks like I'm going to make it like 3:30, so maybe I shouldn't even go. All these excuses. I was always freaking out. Always had a hard time. And then when I would go in, I'd awkwardly like shake a person's hand like 4 times and hand out the business card and shove it in their hand, and then go, "Oh yeah, no, you guys have magic in here. That's cool." uh, it was the birth of a salesman instead of the death of a salesman. It was the birth of a salesman, and I've gotten much more comfortable talking about the products and services that I offer, how they benefit the people I've designed them for, and and then if they don't see the value in it, then they don't see the value in it. They're not my customer, and then that's it. Uh, the other night was super easy. It was just like, "Hey, man, you got a problem? I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it." Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna stop that right now. I can't imagine how many people will just want to click away because they're like, "Oh God, he's gonna sing again." We got a lot more. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, so Don's in. We're gonna make the Facebook group. Okay, so you guys sound like you want to join the thing. So I'm going to build that. I'm going to spend some time, not tomorrow, but probably try to do it this weekend. I'll probably put something at least preliminary up, send out a little message via the community where I have a link to the Facebook page, and you guys can sign up there. I'll also probably start leaving that in descriptions just so more people can come and join us there. But great, I'm really happy for that. That's going to be wonderful. I'm yeah, we're growing, guys. We're having to do new stuff, and I'm seeing needs for things I didn't see needs for before. So that's wonderful. You know, I think the reason that some people think that easiest magic tricks have the best reaction done is it's not necessarily because they're just easy, but because there's less mental power going to thinking about how the trick works and performing the trick, and just doing the trick for the audience and being present. The biggest thing, and I'm going to have a video about this, I think, but one of the biggest things that you can do to improve your magic immediately is to go from here to here. So many magicians, they just caught up in what their hands are doing or what their patter is or what they're supposed to be doing next. They're not making eye contact. They're just looking around. They're talking to the deck. They're looking at the deck of cards and they're going, well, you know, it's about 45 cards down and the thing. This is not a mirror anymore. You're talking to a real person now. So connect with them, you know, eye contact, questions, relevant questions, ask follow-up questions, get to know them. You know, you're making a friend. My wife makes fun of me all the time, but she says, hey, you're the easy, like you make friends everywhere you go. We can stand in line at the grocery store. You suddenly got, you're friends with somebody. Is that what happens? You know, it's after you kind of adopt that lifestyle and that mindset, it doesn't turn off. And that's great for you because if you're trying to market your business, that's another wonderful thing. People start conversations with anybody. Oh, what do you do? Oh, cool. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Get out of here and get up here. Magicians tend to think too much. If you're thinking about the trick and how it works and thinking about the machinations and I have to do a double lift here and then there's a pass there and then I got to palm that card off. And, you know, if you're thinking about all that stuff, you're not performing magic. You're still practicing at that point. Whenever I perform magic, I don't think about any of the moves I got to do. I don't think about it at all. And I don't mean like I try not to think about it. It just flows forth from my hands. It's all muscle memory. And what that means is that it's kind of like performing real magic. Sometimes I'll be like, oh wow, how did I do that? Because you're not thinking about it at all. You've practiced all of that until you free up all your mental resources, and then all your mental resources are with the other person, about being with the other person instead of worrying about the machinations of the trick. That tip alone will save you guys years and years of awkward performances and make you better magicians like almost overnight. So run with it. Went on a rant, but that's something I see constantly at TAUM and other conventions is people who have amazing technical skill, but no people skills. Pull it out from here up to here. There you go. I've got a million puns. You know, I don't like to make the puns though because you know, they're uncomfortable. It's like jumping on a bicycle with the seat missing. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys too. I forgot to in my notes. I got a chance to perform at a zoo the other day. There's this company renting out an entire zoo for this company party, and I was there. I got to perform. I got to go to the zoo after hours. It was pretty cool. At least I thought it was. I got there, and they only had one animal on display. It was just one animal. I was like, it was a dog, right? It was a Shih Tzu. Boom. that's the mic drop. It's a terrible joke. It's my favorite joke. I tell it everywhere all the time. Oh man. So I want to ask you guys too. So what do you want to see? I got my idea for my schedule for stuff I want to do this year. I I got this amazing email the other day. I'm going to make it a whole video. I don't know how much I want to talk about it yet, but it really pulled at my heartstrings a lot. And I think it's something that would be really great for you guys to hear and to see. And yeah, I hope to get that soon. So I got Diamond Gems videos coming out next Thursday, and then I'm probably going to revisit the rest of the 20-year series, followed then by either my updated 20 years later video, and then some tutorials and some other things, and then I don't know, probably maybe in between there, or maybe a little bit, maybe after that, do the store piece that I want to do for you. I got this amazing email the other day. You guys would not believe that, and it reminds me and humbles me that why what we do is so important, and I really can't wait to share that with you guys. What do we got? Yeah, and the thing is it's so silly because when you hear it, you go, "Well, yeah, of course, that makes sense." I'm talking to Don. I'm responding to him right now. It sounds like, well, of course. Well, of course, it makes more sense to be involved with people. I'm very, like, even in this live stream right now, I'm very aware of how much I have to bend over and look at the monitor to be able to read what you guys are writing to me so that I can respond to you. And I hate that because I'm ignoring you. It's kind of like the 20-year series we just talked about, where I just disregard the audience and then address something else. It's like, you guys are right here with me, you're giving over your time, and you guys are deciding to come and hang out with me for 41 minutes now, 42 minutes, and listen to me ramble on. I got to be respectful of that. I can't just go, hold on, I'm going to do. That's not cool, right? And I'm very, very aware that I'm doing it whenever I come over here and read the comments, but I just can't read it from sitting here. I wish I could. But yeah, those silly little tweaks or new ways of thinking about stuff can totally revolutionize the way you do it. And it only seems obvious in hindsight. And if I just kick the camera there, I'm sorry. I don't want to give you guys a queasy tummy. I also have a list here. I want to show you guys. You probably won't be able to see this in the camera, but look. Okay. This is, you're going to, oh, hey, well, you can see there's my light. There's my light right there. There's my webcam. That's what I'm seeing. That's what you look like to me right now. But this right here, a list of all of the things, all the comments after I asked you guys, hey, what do you want to see on this channel? You responded, and I made note of that. It's in here, and I refer to it often, and I want to make sure that I give guys the videos that you're wanting and asking for. So it's there. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I hear you, and I hope you guys like the content I'm putting out. You're still watching it. Do you like record? You're talking about practicing in the mirror, recording yourself, and then watching it later? Because that's another tip. Actually, I want to talk about. Everybody says, "Hey, look in the mirror and watch yourself." There's no reason why not to record yourself. Now, that was the lesson for a long time. Was watch yourself in the mirror. The thing is, you blink, and that means a mirror blinks, and you might be missing a whole bunch of stuff. And it's so easy to just prop your phone up on a bookshelf and film whatever you're doing, and then to go back and watch it. You will catch so much more under that careful review, where you can go back and watch it 1,000 times done exactly the same way. And that will do wonders for helping improve your sleight of hand and your misdirection. Film yourself. The mirror's outdated. You heard it here first. Yeah, well, Justin knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. There's no reason why not. Webcams can do 1080p. This is a webcam that I'm talking to y'all right now. When this can do 1080p, and your phones can do 4K, It's at 60 frames a second. There's no reason not to use your phone to help you improve. It's a tool you already got in your pocket. For the longest time, I was doing DPS wrong, and I didn't know. I didn't know because of mirrors. Yeah, because you blink. Yeah, amazing, but yeah, and you can't count on the rest of the audience to blink at the same time you did. Unless you make a really loud noise on purpose, but then that's kind of distracting. I'm gonna drink some Coca Cola now. I'm just gonna mix my caffeines and my vices here. Yes, it's the choice of an old generation. Not sponsored, but it is all over my lap now. That's what I get for being an idiot. That is very cold. Oh, okay. So this is why we can't have nice things. And my chair, the way that it's shaped, it's shaped like this as it goes towards the butt. And so right now I have like a bunch of Coca Cola just creeping up into places I don't want Coca Cola. Oh, I would ask for a towel, but my wife's in bed. So, oh boy, I'm just gonna hang out here. Yeah, y'all hang out for a second. Can you do that for me? I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. Come back. Come back. Sorry. Wow. So yeah, I had Coke seeping into crevices, and I had to do something about that. Thank you for your patience. You guys are wonderful, and thank you for understanding. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I muted the microphone because I was describing in very lucid detail to my wife what had just happened, and I'm so glad you guys didn't hear that. What do we have here? We have message retracted. I got a lot of questions. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to really have to catch up with y'all. Okay, you guys are animals. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna come in here. Okay. So it looks like I'm gonna kind of increase my microphone gain here so I can talk a little bit further away from the microphone. Okay, so what do we have? We have is a standard set of 3 tricks per table for restaurant magic, and do you have 9 different tricks or 12 different tricks for each night? I don't really count it that way, man. It depends. And I had one answer at one time, and now I have a different answer.